back to my channel. I'm really happy that you're here. So from now on, my videos will be in English because I don't know. You know, I'm 24. I just decided my life is short. I'm young. I want to do a lot of things with my life. It was always a dream of mine to open a booktube channel just because I love books. I love talking. I love English language, which by the way is not my first language. So I apologize from now on if I say something that it's incorrect or if my accent is not the best. It's just that my first language is Spanish. So I apologize if that is inconvenient for you guys. So I wanted to talk about the books that I got in New York. So as you saw, I went to New York. I went to a lot of bookstores. I don't remember the name of all of the bookstores by now because I was in New Jersey, I was in Boston, I was in New York. I went to a lot of bookstores, but if I'm correct, I believe I went to 8 bookstores in total. So yeah, I'll just confirm the number right here because honestly, I can't remember how many bookstores I went. But let me tell you, I found a lot of gems. Plus, I got a Kindle that I will talk about in another video because that's an entirely different subject. Before I start talking about these books, please subscribe to my channel if you liked the content or if you want to know more about the books or even if you want me to do videos in English and Spanish. They're not in any specific order. I'm just going to show you the books. I'm going to tell you why I got them. And you know, if I can remember anything of the plot at all. So one book I got, and I think this book I got it at the corner bookstore. This bookstore is in 1313 Madison Avenue at 93rd Street. This book is Pride and Premeditation. I heard about this book for the first time from Allie. I think she's a booktuber. I think her booktube channel, I think her channel is called Just Allie or something like that. This is a YA book, I believe, because I went to several different bookstores and I've seen that this book is classified as a young adult. So basically, this is kind of like a retale of Pride and Prejudice, as you can tell by the name. We follow a 17-year-old law student Lizzie, and we're also following Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. They go head to head in a murder case that has shocked the London high society. But as the case and her feelings for Darcy become more complicated, Lizzie discovers that her dream career could make her happy, but it might also get her killed. So this is a murder mystery / romance / YA. I'm really excited. Plus, this is one of the most beautiful covers I've seen in my entire life. Do you not agree? It's amazing. Okay, so the next book I got is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This book, I got it from the Harvard bookstore, at Harvard, of course. This was $7 because this is a used book. This is a romance. I really haven't heard much about this one. I really like the cover, and I've never read anything about this author, so I'm really excited to read this. You can never have enough romances, you know. The next book I got is The Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. I have read Tessa Bailey's books, which here they are. They're good. They're not my favorite. Her writing style is not my favorite, but I do like how she writes her characters in terms of she writes them with a lot of personality, and I think that just adds up to the story a lot. So I'm really excited to read this. I really like the cover. I think this is really fun. I got this at the Newark airport because they were buy one and get one 50% off. I was already leaving from the Upper East Side of the United States, and I was really sad, and then I saw this and, you know, my spirits were lifted. So I think this is a story about this man, and he basically hires her to take care of his son, I believe. something like that. You can just read it from here if you want to read it, you know. We have, this is the other book I got, 50% off. It's Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I have not read anything about Ali Hazelwood or any of her books. And I'm really scared, to be honest, because I follow a lot of people through the book community here on YouTube, and a lot of people agree that she is one of the worst writers in the romance genre, and a lot of people love her books and actually enjoy them. So I don't know which team I will be making part of. Hopefully the positive one, because I really enjoy romances, and I hope this is not a disappointment. The next book I got is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is a thriller. This is basically the story about this woman that goes to rest from her daily life to this cabin. And I think the story is around the couple that lives across the lake. And I think our protagonist starts to watch these couples, the interactions between the couple, and how the relationship is and stuff. So I'm really excited for this one. I think Riley Sager is a really great writer. I already read one of his books while I was on my trip, so I'm really excited for this one. Plus, I don't know what is about the cover that really creeps me out. Like, I'm already scared, and I haven't even started the book yet. So yes. So the next book is Girlhood by Melissa Febos. The first time I read Melissa Febos was in What My Mother and I Don't Talk About, and this is just basically a lot of essays from different writers. They talk about their relationship with their mothers. And so the first time I read Melissa Febos was through this essay. Let me show you. It is called, let me take out the post-it because I have annotations in there. It is called Thesmophoria. I don't know how to pronounce it, if I'm honest, but I have never read anything like this in my entire life. This is one of the most beautiful essays, texts, books, lines, sentences, words that I have read in my life. Her life was hard, you know? How she talks about her life and how she talks about, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel when everything seems so dark and then it's not. How she views her life, how she views her trauma, how she overcomes all of those struggles. That is something that I have never seen in anyone before. And when I read this, I instantly fell in love with her writing and with her story. And by the way, this is nonfiction. So I was really interested in keep purchasing her books because I already knew that she had probably 5 to 6 books she had written, all of them nonfiction, all of them kind of memoir-ish. Meaning she talks about her life experiences. And now I got Girlhood, and I got Girlhood at the McNally Jackson in Soho. Let me read a little bit on the back. When her body started to change at 11 years old, Melissa Febos immediately understood that her meaning to other people had changed with it. By her teens, she had defined herself accordingly by outside expectations. Over time, she questioned the stories and she'd been told about being female, asking why they had so devalued her personal safety, happiness, and freedom. This is called Girlhood. I'm a girl. I lived my own girlhood. I'm gonna love this. I already know I'm gonna love it. The next book, also by Melissa Febos, that I found in the corner bookstore as well. No. From Book Culture, guys, can we take a minute? Can we take a second to appreciate this beautiful bookmark? Jeez, they're beautiful. So at Book Culture, I got this book called Abandon Me. This is another one of her memoirs. I think she talks more about family. In these linked essays, Febos tries to reconnect with her birth father and finds that an instinct for self-erasure binds them as surely as their blood. She remains closely tied to the loving sea captain who raised her, absent for months at a time. So I think this is about her father and maybe why he abandoned her in this case. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about her. I love her. If you have any chance to read anything by her. I highly recommend it. The next book I got was also purchased in McNally Jackson. Let me show you the bookmark. The book I got is The Notebooks of Malte Lords Brigg. I don't know how to pronounce these 3 words. They're basically impossible for my tongue. So can we just take a minute to appreciate this cover as well? Like, look at the watercolors behind the picture, behind the font. Isn't this amazing? I love it. A groundbreaking masterpiece of early European modernism, originally published in 1910, Rilke's The Notebooks of Malte Lords Brigg unspools the vivid reflections of the titular young Danish poet and nobleman. From his Paris garret, Brigg records his encounters with the city and its outcasts, muses on his family history, and lays bare his earliest experiences of fear, tenderness, and desolation. With the poet's musical clarity, captured as never before by award-winning translator Edward Snow, Rilke forges a dazzlingly fractured coming-of-age narrative that yields strikingly contemporary questions about fiction and reality, empathy and psychosis, and above all, life, love, and death. Who doesn't love a book about life, love, and death? I do. Next book I got at the Strand bookstore, but not the main store, the kiosk in Central Park. This is Colorless Tsukuru Tasaki by Haruki Murakami. I've never read anything about Murakami from Murakami. The cover is just amazing because it's literally a circle. It's a little circle right here. And it's just plain white. Seems so interactive. But I bought this book, like I said, at the Strand bookstore, but I never realized until here that these 3 freaking pages are ripped. Who would do that? Who would sell a book with 6 pages missing? Like, how am I supposed to find the rest of the book? The next book I got is Firefly Lane by Christine Hanna. So I read Christine Hanna once before. I read The Nightingale in my book club. We really liked it. I really liked Christine Hanna's writing style. Talks about friendship, girlhood, growing up as a woman with a friend of yours, and facing difficulties in life, and how facing these difficulties in life is easier if you have someone that is always there for you. So we basically follow Kate Mularkey and Tully Hart. The next book I got is a book I got at Book Culture as well. Did I? Yes. In Book Culture, they sell used books and new books. Just in case if you wanted to know, I was really interested in purchasing used books in Book Culture. And I got The House at the Cerulean Sea. So, hear me out. I DNF'd under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune, which is the author. I DNF'd it. And I decided to give this book an opportunity because everyone just really they talk a lot about this book, and they say how this book is great. Plus, this book talks about Linus Baker is a by-the-book caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records for company. But his quiet life is about to change. Linus is summoned by extremely upper management and given a curious and highly classified assignment. Travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, that they're likely to bring about the end of days. The next book I got in the same place, Book Culture, is Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite fantasy / fiction / whatever I have ever read. I have all of his books here, not all of them, but I have Neverwhere, The Graveyard Book, and The Ocean at the End of the Lane. I have American Gods, but not in this edition. Oh, it's right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Here it is, American Gods. Neil Gaiman journeys deep into myth to bring us a tale playful, profound, and rife with mayhem and mischief. An audacious and inspired story of family luck, deceit, and an unusual legacy that illuminates the divine in our humanity. The next book I got is, I don't remember where I got it from. Oh, I remember. The next book I got is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I got it in the Penn Station bookstore / convenience store. So this is the story about, we follow the story of Lenora Hope. Apparently Lenora Hope killed her father, her mother, and her sister back in 1929. And now that Lenora is an old lady, I think she's 70 something, she wants to tell the truth to our protagonist. Her name is Kit, and Kit is going to try and find out what happened to Lenora. Like, why did Lenora murder all of her family? I was really interested. I already read this. I gave it 4 stars, but I'm not going to talk about it just yet. I'm going to talk about it on my what I read in July and August video. The next book I got it from Porter Square Books in Boston as well. I went to 2 bookstores in Boston. I went to the Harvard bookstore and Porter Square Books. I got it in there, and it is The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. I already started this book, but I think I'm just gonna put it into hold because I'm reading a lot of books right now. But this is a story about, so basically, we as society, as humanity, already discovered how to travel in time. And so because we already discovered it, we decided that we wanted to bring people from the past to the present and hire people from the present, to help the people from the past adjust to this new life. So they're basically called bridges, the people that help people from the past. When I read the bag, I was not instantly drawn to the story because this is not the first time I hear a book is talking about the concept of time and traveling in time. But what really captured my attention was that a lot of people that have already read this book say that it is really funny. Like, it's so funny to see how this person from the past, Commander Gore with a G. They say the Commander, Graham Gore, it's really, really funny. And it's really funny to see how he starts to adjust to the present. And next book is Kayan's Jawbone. I got this at the Strand kiosk as well. A regular price, right? Yes. It was $12.95. This is basically like a puzzle. So this is they give you hints of a murder. And you basically can just cut the pages off the book and just try to figure out how to solve the murder mystery. So I think this will be really fun to do with my boyfriend or with my sister or with whoever wants to do it with me. Let me know if you're interested, if we can do it together here in a video. That would be so fun. We have Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I love Sally Rooney. She is my favorite contemporary fiction writer. She is, because I already read Normal People. I already read Beautiful World, Where Are You? Oh, and I loved them. I don't understand when people say that they don't like the way Sally Rooney writes. I really like the topics that she talks about in her books, such as she always writes young people, which I really like because I'm in my first half of my 20s journey. I'm 24, so I really enjoy when she writes about young people struggling with daily life because I just feel so identified. And every time I read her characters, like all of them, I identify myself with almost everyone. The way they think, the way she depicts daily life and the monotony of life is just so realistic. It just depicts perfectly what life is and what really life is for us humans. And one day Frances and Bobby meet this famous photographer who is married to a man named Nick, and one of the 2 girls, I think she gets involved with the photographer's husband. However, I'm using Francis and Nick's flirtation scenes at first. It begins to give way to a strange and then painful intimacy. Another book that I got at the Harvard bookstore, which is Playing the Witch card, and I really don't know what this book is about. It was $9, I believe. The cover is beautiful, and I just decided to get it because I had nothing in here waiting for me before I came back for the fall season. So I wanted something fall-ish, you know, pumpkinish kind of thing. Then we have The Hating Game. There's already a movie out there starring, I believe, is Lucy Hale. I think these are co-workers and the trope is enemies to lovers. I don't know why I got this book, but I thought it would be interesting to just have it on my shelves. And of course, eventually I will read it, and then probably after I read it, I will watch the movie. Last but not least is I got this blind date with a book in the Ribbed Bodice bookstore, which I did not only purchase this, I purchased t-shirts that says the Ribbed Bodice, a romantic bookstore. And I purchased a couple of stickers that are already on my Kindle, and then these beautiful bookmarks. I didn't purchase them, these were for free. And a little bag for $3 that it's really beautiful. The hints with the blind date is what happens when a former player falls for his best friend, and they're also roommates. Friends to lovers trope and forced proximity trope. And it is a male-female love. These books were not purchased in my trip, but I did wanted to talk about them because I think I got them like 1 week before I was leaving. And I got them from Target because they were having their buy two and get one free book. So the first book was Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. I have never read this book before. I've heard amazing things about it. No, don't do it. Jeez. So I have heard a lot of people rave about this book, like how this book is so amazing, and I don't know, I just have a really good feeling about this book. I think I'm really gonna love it. The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. So I think this is a story of love about this woman that dies, and in heaven or wherever you want to call it, the limbo or whatever, she meets this man that she falls in love with, but all of a sudden this man is taken back to Earth, and so she has to like do something in order for her to come back to the Earth, to give her, you know, in order for that, whoever decides who goes to Earth and who stays in limbo, he has to like convince this person, thing, I don't know, whatever that is, to let her come back. But if she does come back, what is she going to do to find the love of her life, you know? Next book I got, Everyone Here Is Lying, which I already read. I tabbed it. So basically this is a story. It says, welcome to Stanhope, a safe neighborhood, a place for families. On the surface, William Wooler is a family man, but he's been having an affair that ended horribly this afternoon at a motel up the road. When he returns to his house, devastated and angry to find his difficult 9-year-old daughter Avery unexpectedly home from school, William loses his temper. To be honest, it's not as shocking as it seems on the back. Is it the best thriller that I have ever read from Shara Lapina? No, it's not. Then I purchased Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. I decided to get this book first because I was more interested in the story and the tropes on this book than the first one, that is Love Redesigned, I believe. And so I read it. I think I rated it like 2.5 stars. I really didn't like it. Okay, so hear me out. I think that I know what I'm about to say. It's probably, I shouldn't say it, but let's just say I don't like Lauren Asher's writing, okay? I think it just makes me laugh. The way she writes and describes things and emotions, and it's just, gosh, it's just terrible. I know a lot of people love her. I know a lot of people love her books, but for me, and it's just about her writing style. It's not even about the story that she makes or her characters. It's just more about how she writes, how she decides to, the selection of words in certain contexts. That's what just, no. unacceptable for me. It's really thick, by the way. It's so unnecessarily thick. The boy, Nico, gosh. What is he? Like 8 years old? Sometimes he acts like a 2-year-old, and then sometimes he acts like a 16-year-old. He's not cute, okay? If you think Nico is cute, guys, I'm a teacher, okay? I know how kids behave. Like, I see it every single day. And that is not how a kid behaves. That's just a crazy teenager acting and making ridiculous scenes in front of his dad. So, I'm sorry. The next book is Bridesmaid for Hire by Megan Quinn. I've never read anything from her before. This is kind of like your typical fake boyfriend trope. You know, I think she's going to hire someone to pretend to go to a wedding with her. I think this is in Hawaii. No, Bora Bora. I don't know what this book is about, but I like the cover and I really like the drawing in here, the art in here. Okay, and the last but not least is a book that I never read. Why? I mean, I did read it, but not from a physical copy, which is so... That's a shame because it smelled amazing. The Housemaid, I downloaded it from the Kindle Unlimited format. I read it on Kindle. I read it literally in one day. That is that, guys. I'm just gonna take a picture of myself for my thumbnail. No, I think I can't. Oh gosh, I'm doing it. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am super pleased that you guys are here, that you guys decided to click on this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of the books that I already talked about. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know if I should read them or not read them. I'm already gonna read them because I already purchased them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on New York or what are the best bookstores in New York, I've been 3 summers in a row to New York, so I've been to a lot of bookstores in New York, a lot of bookstores for sure. And I know if you have any questions, if it's worth going there, if it's worth the price, if it's convenient to buy books in New York, you guys can feel free to ask. I will try and answer all of your questions. Once again, I apologize if my English is not the best. I'm not used to talking English this fast and as freely because I don't live in the United States. See you on the next video. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day and a wonderful week.